Well, hey there, folks. Happy Monday. Hey, I want to put out a little disclaimer right here at the top of this episode of Year of Self-Care. I am coming to you live from Bartlesville, Oklahoma. I'm sitting right out by the volleyball court, though it wasn't sand back in my day, right across the street from my childhood home in the park where I spent many hours whiling away my childhood, skinning my knees, and playing. Lots and lots of playing. So I'm going to pull a card for us today as we continue our journey of self-care. And then I'm going to take you on a little tour of my childhood. So stay tuned. And if you're joining, please excuse any background noise, traffic noises, different things. I'm outdoors today, so I'm going to do my best I can with sound quality, but I can only control so much. Right on. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of surreal just even sitting here. This volleyball court, I would run out across the street probably as soon. I mean, I was always going to the park even by the time I was 5, but probably around 7, I started coming to the volleyball court. And like I said, it was paved, but there were all these adults that would come out and play volleyball quite often. And as soon as my head could basically reach the bottom of the net, I started stepping onto the court. And I loved these adults because they never put me down. They never said, oh, you're too small, or sit and watch, you have to wait till you're older. They just let me on the court. And they didn't treat me any different from any of the other people. I had to just show up and show out, or get hit in the head with the ball, as I often did. So a lot of childhood memories kind of coming around. And let's see what we're going to be focusing on today and this week in our year of self-care. All right, what does the universe have in store for us today? Interesting. Rejuvenation. Yeah, look at that. Ooh, can you see the relaxation? This person lounging, yes, in their birthday suit, wrapped up in a snail. What an interesting image, by the ocean, by the water. It says, get a good night's sleep. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and spirit. Listen, y'all, sleep is so essential. It's absolutely essential. It's one of the main things I work with most of my clients on, because sleep being disrupted as a result of nervous system dysregulation is a very real thing. And, sleep certainly is a place of rejuvenation, a place where our brain does a lot of processing and pruning and healing. And, we need to get that in order for sure. And then there are other ways that we can rejuvenate ourselves, right? Through activities and self-care and relaxation and napping and play and, all of these wonderful ways that we can really rejuvenate. Like, think about that word. It's such a fun word, rejuvenate, right? It's like reignition, reigniting, filling ourselves back up, creating vitality, rejuvenate. Yeah, I'm generating something. I'm creating something. I'm coming out of a place of maybe depression or lack of motivation. I'm feeling rejuvenated, ready to go again. I've been driving across country since Friday. So I've traveled all of California, through Arizona, through New Mexico, a little bit of Texas, across Oklahoma to arrive here at my hometown. And, it has been, for me, driving, getting away, getting out of my routine, is always a place of rejuvenation. It helps me clear my mind. It helps me clear my spirit. And as I think about my very long journey from Bartlesville, Oklahoma to San Francisco, California, where I now live and breathe and work and love, coming back to my roots, I feel, is another way that I rejuvenate. Every time I come back, I have new perspective. I have a new sense of self. I have a new way of thinking about the experiences that I've lived through. Right across from me here is my childhood home, and I'm going to do my best to be respectful of the people who live there now. So if people come out, I'm going to stop the video or switch it around, whatever I can do. But right there used to be a porch swing. And right there is the window that my mom looked out of and saw my grandfather abusing me. Oftentimes it was on this front porch swing where my grandfather would touch me, say things to me. And I posted before how much I love the fact that that swing is not there. It's a testament to the passage of time, how things move and change. But there are a lot of things besides the abuse that happened in this house. Right over here on the other side of that porch is where my dad always sat. Yeah, he loved to come outside. He had to smoke outside. My mom wouldn't let him smoke in the house. So that was his chair. He always sat there. I could see him. Oh man, I can really see him even to his dying day. He died when I was 18. He would come out and he would sit on the front porch. And I spent a lot of time on that front porch, on those steps, talking with him. A lot of time on those front porch steps, singing, playing. This is also the pathway where my dad busted his ass one winter day. Y'all know how funny it is, right? When somebody, when an adult falls, you're like, ooh, but you're also like, oh my God, that's hilarious. And I just remember cracking up. Oh, it's so good. And then, over here where the truck is parked, that actually is closed off now. But what it used to be was a sliding glass, all windows and a sliding glass door, which I used quite often in my teen years to sneak out of when I was out getting in trouble in the middle of the night. But also what's true is to the right of where the truck is parked, that's where my mom's office, that whole area right there is actually what we called the family room. And it had this obnoxious green carpet. Ooh, 70s. Hello. Throughout my entire time I lived here, from 5 to 18, that green carpet never changed. And as part of that room, it was the laundry room, but my mom's desk was there in that right corner. My mom was an entrepreneur. She was a business owner. She did bookkeeping. And then just to pretty much right in front of where that truck is parked, there's this little cutout area, a little room, which you could probably use just for storage and stuff, but my mom turned it into a playroom. And so I would be in the playroom and I'd have my chalkboard and I had my books and I'd have my toys and I would be playing, and my mom would be at her desk, doing her work, getting her day done. Oftentimes she would enroll me to help her do things like filing, or I would just crawl up on her lap and, she would be doing the 10 key. This was well before computers, y'all. And I'd be watching her. And I always crack up about this because for so many years of my life, I had this narrative about myself, about how I'm the only one and, who does, is run a business and an entrepreneur. And then I had to look back and go, oh no, that ain't right. My mom for sure started that trend and modeled for me what it would be like to be my own boss. Spent a lot of good time there in that playroom. Off to the left is a tree that my dad and I planted when it was just a sapling. And now it's a full-grown tree. That tree in the front of the house, I would spend a lot of time laying under that tree, just looking up through the tree, watching the sun. I don't know if you all can pick up and hear on the audio at all that they're the cicadas. We don't have those in San Francisco. We don't have very many insects in San Francisco, it seems like, but I'm listening to the cicadas, just the sounds, the smells. It all brings so much. I remember laying under that tree one day with my best friend Sabrina, who I just spent the night with. We met in middle school and we're friends to this day. I remember laying under that tree on a blanket and just talking and curling up when it started to get cold. And of course, in the backyard, there's an acre out there. You can't see it from here. Man, that backyard is where I learned how to be. I learned how to just be, laying on the ground, looking up at the sky. Yeah, this place has formed me in a million kinds of ways. So I'm going to take you around. Y'all ready? Let's see if I can do it without causing myself too much trouble, just trying to get up off the ground. Y'all know I'm in my 40s now, getting up off the ground. It's different in your 40s than when you were in your 30s and 20s and such. Oh my gosh. All right then, so next door is where my friend Emily lived. We got into a lot of trouble together. That was fabulous. One more door down is where Jeb lived. That's one of the boys I first had a crush on. I invited him to the New Kids on the Block concert. I thought Jeb and I were going to be husband and wife. That did not happen, and that's okay. I wonder where in the world is Jeb. Y'all know that, right? Oh my gosh, when you go back to childhood places, you think about people that had never crossed your mind for years and years and years. And then they come into your thoughts. And you think about how that felt. Young, silly love. Right? An amazing thing. So I'm going to show y'all, this is the park. Now, this park does not look like what it looked like when I was a kid. Okay? They have done some stuff, which is fine. Things need to evolve. But where this pavilion is, there used to be this amazing, what we called the curly slide. It was full on sheet metal, burn your ass going down it, sheet metal, almost like right here where this tree is now. There was just one of those straight slides. Save your life. You go flying off the end of that. Oh my gosh. One thing that has remained the same is the little bitty park over here. We call this the baby park. And that turtle is at least 40 something years old, because it has been here from the time I was born. Oh my gosh. I spent so much time in this park. Come over here, meet up with friends, run around, get into fights, figure it out. You know, these were the days where children, like, I literally just ran across the street. And that was that. I had to sort things out myself. Things got too rough, I could run back home. You know, over here I want to show y'all. I'm going to just try to zoom in on it a little bit. This is a miniature golf course. I mean, think about my life. I live across the street from a park. I got a miniature golf course. Over here up this hill, I'll show you later, there's a swimming pool. But you know, I was thinking about this miniature golf course because I would go over there a lot to play, love to play the game. And, but I was thinking about how I became friends with the owner of the golf course. And his name popped into my head yesterday when I was thinking about this, Bruce. And you know, Bruce was, oh, he must have been, I mean, I was little, so everybody seemed like 100 years old. But okay, in reality, he was probably in his 50s. And Bruce would give me free candy sometimes. Bruce would give me a free game, give me an extra ball. And I remember thinking about how starting to tell that story, your stomach might drop. You might think, what? But Bruce was such a safe guy in my life. And he just loved me and encouraged me and nurtured me. He didn't have any reason to, but he was a safe guy, a safe adult. You know, when we grow up with trauma, you know, there are adults in our lives who are not safe. There are people who we cannot trust. And, you know, sometimes we become so harmed by that we stop remembering and thinking about the people in our lives that truly made a difference, that were kind, were nurturing, were safe. So you know what? God bless you, Bruce. Thank you, man, for being a good man in my life, a good adult man in my life. Man, that matters. These, you know, I'll show you all the volleyball courts from a different perspective. I mean, this is where I learned courage over here. Courage to like step up and try. Those adults didn't belittle me. They didn't make me feel silly for wanting to play. They're probably the reason why I ended up on the varsity team as a freshman in high school, which was a rare thing. Oh, y'all, I have to show you over here. Dang, so many memories. One of my favorite trees to climb. climbing. Oh, I saw a video the other day of this woman yelling at some kids for climbing a tree. What in the world is happening? Are you kidding me? My favorite tree. I'd literally run across the street just to climb that tree. And, you know, for the R-rated version, when I was a teenager, had sex in that tree. Oh my. I was like, let's see what this is like. Now there's a bunch of people over here by the creek, so I just want to be respectful. There's a bunch of kids, so I don't know. I'm going to try not to catch them on film. But, yeah, it's so amazing. You catch over here. This is Turkey Creek. So you go over here. I'm just going to do a quick scan, not catch anyone really. That bridge, climbing on that bridge, crawling under that bridge, catching frogs, catching crawdads, doing the thing. There's a hill over here. Used to go sliding down. Now, rejuvenation. Let's bring it back to our theme. Your soul can go quiet. Your soul can become so burdened, lacking energy, lacking any capacity to move, to create, to generate, right? Trauma is such a thing. I think that's why the word is important. Reclaim, rebirth, start. You can start again at any moment. It's tripping me out that they've moved the playground all the way back here. I'm like, what had happened? There used to be a pavilion back here. I wonder if it's still there. No, it looks like yeah. During the summer months, we'd have Sunfest, and my mom and her barbershop choir would set up their booth out here to sell hot dogs. And on the back side, on the other side, the Native American women would always be there making Indian fry bread. Ooh, child. That shit was so good. There used to be a bathroom back here, and actually that bathroom was kind of a funny place because every time I ran away from home, that's the bathroom I went to. I didn't get very far. That was also the bathroom that I spent a night in when I wanted to kill myself as a teenager. Do you see? I'm surrounded by it all. I'm surrounded by the beauty of my life. I'm surrounded by people who took good care of me. I'm surrounded by people who weren't so nice. That girl who blocked me on the curly slide. Ooh. But you know what? We later became friends. Places of exploration. Places of memory and experience. Trial and error. Your life is never any one thing. And anything in your life that you think has died, anything in your life that you think you have lost, you have not. You have not. It's all there, waiting to be rejuvenated. So my invitation for you this week is to think about the places in your life that have shaped you. And yes, think about the negative impacts. Think about the things that were hard. But then turn your mind to something else. Turn your attention. Just shift the lens just a little bit. And all of a sudden, you'll remember being 5 years old, pretending to ride a dinosaur. Much love to you all. Take care.